Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Yo.
What up?
What's up? It's Tuesday.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Here we are.
Back in the dungeon.
It's a routine now.
Yeah, but like once again, I still don't know. We do this at Billy's, and I come from the south side to the north side, and I don't know how I get here every fucking time. It's a surprise when I pull in your driveway for me.
It's
It's
because
just like I don't know how I got here.
it's because you don't come here without drinking any scotch.
Well, maybe. Well, it's like, there's
You
certain
don't really
places
do the
like
trip.
from my house to go to Costco out by Jordan Creek. I still don't know how I get there. I mean, I end up there, but I don't. If you were to say, well, what route do you take?
If
I
somebody
don't
asked
know.
you for directions, you couldn't give
I'm
them.
not even close. I have no idea. I mean, I'm just pulling in until eventually I see the sign, then I'm there. It's just it's a weird thing.
Well, when you're not familiar
Mm-hmm.
enough with a certain area.
Yeah. Well, I go out to Jordan Creek like 3 times a week for the last 25 years. You'd think I know where in the fuck I'm going. I don't. I just keep going till it finally shows up. Yeah. And that's like it is here. It's just, of course, on the other hand, I only come here at night. So I mean, it'd probably be a lot easier.
And we started this in the winter time.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's all like by the time you're coming here, it's dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's
see,
scary.
as when we get to, it's scary because it's the north side.
Because I'm from the south side where everything's real safe and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you would ever even that those words would ever even come out of your mouth.
You know what's funny is on Facebook there's a page. It's called the South Side page. Whatever it's called, and every night there's one person that says, "I heard gunshots." I mean, every night there's one person has mentioned that they heard gunshots.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, the neighborhood watch page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, our north side page.
Yeah.
Somebody always says, and then
Mm-hmm.
inevitably there's a comment. Oh, this neighborhood just isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that used to only happen.
Mm-hmm.
Where that used to only happen.
That's right. Exactly. East side.
That's why every time there's like a shooting in Urbandale, I celebrate.
To get a little happy.
I just rejoice.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
2 dead in domestic dispute in Ankeny. Fuck yeah.
My brother-in-law, Mike, anytime anything's stolen, he lives in Urbandale. Anytime anything's stolen, the first thing he says is check Southside. And fucker, 85% of the time, that's what they find. So it's like,
I mean, it's either that or, I mean, the south side and the north side are where all the pawn shops are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
We have all the Mexican restaurants.
Us too.
Yeah. Although if you go like southeast far enough, and that's where all the like the auto auction places and the car things. So if you steal a car, that usually ends up down there.
Like the southeast bottoms.
That's what they call it, baby.
What they call them.
The southeast bottoms. Mm-hmm.
They would always make that sound like that was the real rough.
Yeah.
It was funny because as a north sider, anytime anybody talked about stuff like that, it just made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's tough. He's from the south side bottoms. I'm like, fuck.
I never understood why, if you're from someplace, it made you tough.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean,
we need one of those Brooklyn point guards. Those.
Yeah. That doesn't
need one of those tough point guards from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I mean, it doesn't automatically make you tough, but tougher people come from
different places.
I mean,
yeah.
You know,
doesn't qualify you.
Well, yeah, but the chip on the shoulder doesn't.
Yeah,
normally
people say,
in Waukee.
I'm Brooklyn, bitch. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what that.
Yeah. But like nobody from Waukee grows up with a chip on their shoulder.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean?
They grow up with probably a really good cashmere sweater on their shoulders.
Their parents were probably together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like their whole life.
Yeah. Someone graduated from somewhere.
Their parents worked through the tough time.
That's right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
What kind of fucking kid's gonna have a chip on their shoulder whose parents worked through the tough times?
Did you when you grew up, did you just hang around with people from where you were from, or did you try to hang around different people from different places? See, going to Dowling, you got to meet kids from all over,
all different neighborhoods.
Yeah, so that was kind of a cool thing there.
Well, I mean, you were relegated to your neighborhood because it's not like you had transportation.
Do you remember like when you made your first friend outside of like your little neighborhood? I mean,
well, you know what? I went to Edmonds.
Yeah,
I got bused to Edmonds in elementary school. So
and you played a lot of sports, and that's where that was a good thing. Sports as a kid, that was a good thing because you would go play on the other side of town, and you would
or just the little league boundaries were bigger than like school boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you had kids from all different schools that you were playing little league with. So, but then you all ended up like at the same high school.
You know what's so crazy is when I was a little kid and we would play. I mean, it was a big thing. Like we played in our little league, South Des Moines. And our team made it to the city tournament. And I remember we got to go play in Beaverdale, and we got to play. And and now as I look at these little kids now, these little fuckers, they play at Disney World. They play. I mean, they go all over the country to play now. It's like
my little brother. I feel like was one of the first kind of. His generation was when they started playing a whole lot more baseball. Yeah, like little league. And all stars and stuff like that stuff came first. Still, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, when I remember he was 8 or 9, he was playing 100 games.
Yeah. When I was a little kid and you played South Des Moines, I think you played like maybe 15, 20 games. You got
like 20 games.
Make the All-Star team. You got maybe a few more games.
Yeah.
And when my daughter was little, there were 75 games, 80 games. And now these kids, I mean, if they wanted
to, major league fucking season.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they could play more than 162. Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
And they play in the fall. And as global warming continues, maybe we'll have year-round baseball in Iowa.
That would be the one good thing about that. You can watch baseball all the time.
Could golf. I like.
You were an Oakland A's fan. You still, or what's the deal there?
Well, I mean, I'm not an Oakland A's fan. I don't remember the last time I paid attention.
You don't pay attention anymore?
I couldn't tell you a single player on the team.
Did you? I mean, would you follow? I mean, I know you watch football and stuff. But I mean, I know you follow the Hawks. You know everything about the Hawks. Mm-hmm. Any other sports that you got? It's like me. I follow baseball a little bit. I wouldn't say not like I used to, but I do like to watch. And I mean, I watch the Cubs. I watch the Yankees. But I mean, I know a little bit about that going on. NFL. I mean, I pay attention, but I'm not one of those. I can't tell you who the left tackle is on the Chiefs. Like
I can't tell. I can't fucking go that far with anything. I mean, I can't name. I mean, even with Iowa.
Yeah.
If I had to name the starting 11 guys on each side of the ball, I wouldn't get them all.
Really? You get pretty close though.
Probably.
Yeah. See,
the line would be where I can't remember necessarily everybody's name.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cowboys, same deal.
Yeah. I know you were a huge Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
And you still follow.
Well, it's what's the definition of huge? Like to me, a huge fan lives and dies with every moment.
Well, it's like if you listen to in the morning, I will listen to nationally. I mean, I listen to the guys locally, but nationally, when you listen to like Dan Patrick or Colin Cowherd, and the guy calls them, so you know what, and they start talking about trades and shit.
Yeah,
that's to me that's the big fan. The guy that knows.
I don't know any. I mean, well, like this Luka Doncic.
Yeah, the Luka Doncic.
I mean, now I might start watching Laker games again,
and I might too.
I get. The apathy sets in very easily for me with the pro teams.
Yeah.
So like, if they're not any good for an extended period of time, it's easy for me to stop paying attention.
I pay attention enough to know, like, I know Cleveland's really good this year, and Oklahoma City's good. I know that. But
yeah. And you're talking about the NBA.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, I won't watch any of the games. I'll when they get to the playoffs, I'll watch by the time they get to the second, third, or ninth round, because there's like 8,000 fucking rounds. So I mean, I'll start watching when they get to like
talking about the NBA.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But
I don't think I've watched. I don't think I watched a second of the finals last year.
I think I did. I mean, I think I watched more of the semifinals because I think there were teams that I can't tell you. I can't remember who even won last year.
Celtics, I think.
Oh, Celtics won. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I think
I watched a little bit. I'll tell you what. I did watch.
They won in 5 games.
I did watch when the Knicks, because the Knicks haven't been relevant in a long time. They got that Brunson. They had those 3 guys that played for Villanova. And I kind of watched that for a little. I needed more. I needed like a storyline. I needed a reason to want to watch. You know.
I would watch. With like Golden State, we get to the finals, and I would watch.
Well, because you need to see something.
Or I would watch. I would actually watch most of Golden. Golden State was kind of having that little run. I would watch most of their playoff.
Do you think you'll get? You think you'll ever get excited again? Like you were talking about how you lose your passion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think? I mean, can an Iowa team get you excited again to where you could paint your face and shit?
Oh well, I mean, I've never been that guy.
Yeah,
but.
No, these pictures beg the fucking difference. You're pretty close, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm into the game.
Yeah.
And football's,
Football's easier for the mere fact that there's not that many. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be a diehard baseball fan, it'll literally suck the life out of you. I mean, because if your team's good, you're looking at playing close to 200 games. I
mean, football games are just intense.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, I mean, and there's only so many to go around, and every game's important in football.
Like that picture of me that Claudia said looks like January.
She went around, I don't know whether you know, the other night, she took a picture of every one of these pictures, and I don't know, she will use this sometime to do something.
I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that picture is when Iowa scores.
Yeah.
And each section I-O-W-A, my section's W.
Uh-huh.
That's just me yelling W. That's all it is. I'm making you see my hands. I'm doing like a W kind of.
Yeah, I've watched you on TV a few times when you reach over and you pound
beating on them.
a lunatic.
Dude, be the 12th man or stay the fuck home.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way it should be.
I mean, honestly, I've never understood. Like, I had some people this year tell me to sit down.
And that's bullshit. And you're in the front row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's bullshit.
And here's the thing.
Oh.
You see me hitting the pad.
Yeah.
Like that's by design.
Yeah.
Because that keeps me bent over.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever going to not see that's behind me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I stay bent over.
So you're actually being considerate.
Yeah. But like, I think about that.
Yeah.
I actually do it for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
also old prison habits die hard.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, the beating on the pad thing, I'm making noise, but like I stay slumped over and I'll in between plays and stuff, I'll stand up. Like, because my knees will get tired.
Sure, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're in the front row of a football game. And like, I mean, do you see yourself ever getting that excited again at like an Iowa basketball game?
If there's good, exciting games ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's, like I said, these people, like, I remember this, they were telling me and my girlfriend to sit down. They were talking to her but I'm so like aloof.
Were they right behind you or were they?
Yeah, right behind. Basically me, my 2 seats.
Yeah.
And then there's a family.
Yeah.
That sits next to me. They've got, I think 4 seats there. And then they have 2 more up several rows. But it's it's a couple and they have 3 kids and her mom. Yeah. And they kind of rotate around, you know.
Yeah.
We're there every week.
Yeah.
To my left, it's always different people. So it's like a company has a couple. They're always on StubHub.
Yeah, right.
And then behind me, same deal.
And so it's different people behind you all the time.
Right.
Well, then fuck them.
Exactly.
I mean,
and so so they're telling us to sit down.
Yeah.
And the game hasn't even really started yet.
Yeah.
And this lady, and I turn around and I look at her husband, and I just went, not gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, either get excited, make noise. Like I'm like, you're in the north end zone.
Yeah.
Like
I've been here every week for 20 years 100%. In a row. Yeah, and so just because your husband surprised you with these tickets for this one weekend, I ain't fucking sitting down.
And it's like, and I'm sure they leave thinking like they're never gonna.
Yeah.
You know, their fucking whatever got ruined.
So there's some cocktail party in Waukee in a couple weeks ago. And it would have been a good time, but this one fellow was dressed up. He had a giant chain.
Told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I said. I go, we're here every week.
Exactly.
You're not gonna fucking tell us shit. So
do you scream and you yell, go nuts?
I actually yes.
High five everybody around you when something good happens.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hugs.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Oh yeah. I mean the Fords, that's the family that sits next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sent them one of those pictures that's on the wall. And it's got all of us in it.
Oh, that's cool.
I sent one. They've got it on their wall in their basement.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, I mean, we've all sat there ever since the North End Zone got renovated. Like the first season that it was done.
No, you're exactly what that's supposed to be like. That's what
100%. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
You're damn right.
And you ask the fucking players.
Yeah.
They'll be like, that's what we need. We want loud fucking. You're supposed to be there to make it a tough place to play.
If there was a Lambeau leap, I'm the guy I'm leap. You're the guy I want to leap into.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what's funny? I enjoy that and I dig that. There's certain times I can't stand yelling. Tell you what it was the other day. My wife and I, as you know, we frequent Prairie Meadows quite a bit.
Yes.
I mean, we go to a lot of casinos, but we're there. And the people, and they're the bras, they're the dudes that get in there, and they get on the machine and they lose their fucking mind. And they, it's one thing to high five, which is, it's kind of goofy when you're at a slot machine. But when they scream and yell and go nuts, and then you walk over to see what's going on, and they won like $20. You got to calm the fuck down. You
guys are like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic.
Exactly.
You guys are, listen, young man, we got 81 more of these.
Calm the fuck down. Yeah. Screaming like someone ripped the skin off their bone.
I yell and scream like in celebratory moments.
Can you remember?
And then I yell and scream at like the referees.
Yeah.
And
oh, I know you do that. Yeah. Can you remember the time you think you went to the absolute most fucking batshit? I mean, what play? I mean, where? Do you remember a game? Even game you weren't at. I can remember being in Atlantic City when who threw the long pass in a bowl game?
Tate?
Yeah, Drew Tate.
Yeah.
I can remember. I went crazy. But I mean, can you remember a certain time when you just were watching something and just fucking lost it?
Well, you saw the picture that I unrolled to show.
Yeah.
Claudia.
Yeah.
Did you look at it?
No, I didn't see it, but I heard you talk about it.
So it's when Cooper DeJean ran the punt back against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it's before they called it back.
Oh God.
So it's the moment.
See, you need two posters.
100%.
You need that one, then you need one after.
Because the other one's me fucking ready to commit a murder.
I told you I was doing a show. I was like Hoyt Sherman. I was doing a show for someone. And I remember I had my phone and I saw it and I was like, wow. I was very happy. I put it away and I went and did the show and I came out 45 minutes later. And it was like, what am I looking at here?
I was fucking homicidal.
Oh, I could imagine.
But anyway, that picture.
Yeah.
I'm in the front row, so there's a ledge.
Was he coming towards you when he did it?
No, it's the other side.
Okay.
So there's a ledge,
mm-hmm.
because we're in the front row.
Yeah.
I'm up on the ledge.
Oh.
and I'm just fucking raw, and I'm just fucking screaming. And everybody around me, like you can see that I'm up on the ledge because everybody else around me is just standing on the regular. Yeah.
So you're right there. So he had his back to you when he got the pass, and he didn't go like this. It wasn't a fair catch like this. It was move away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time when you're watching it, there not 1 second did you go, oh fuck, you call it fair catch.
Not even, and that's not even why they reviewed it.
Yeah. What was the review again?
To make sure he stayed in bounds.
Oh, Jesus, that's a bad call.
They reviewed it to make sure he stayed in bounds. And then they said he made an invalid fair catch. It was such a crock of fucking shit. Unbelievable.
Well,
I'm still pissed off about it. Thanks for bringing it up.
Shouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry about that.
But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of like shit last year, the Nebraska game.
Yeah.
I lost my mind when Caleb Johnson ran that screen pass for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because the Nebraska fans were talking so much shit at halftime.
Yeah, I was at I'm a bad luck thing because my cousin brought me to the Iowa City a couple years ago when they got beat by Nebraska.
Yeah,
and I felt like that was my fucking fault.
Yeah, well, that was after Cooper DeJean got hurt.
How superstitious are you? I mean, does a lot?
I'm pretty superstitious. Yeah, so which I've tried to let go of. Like that was a baseball thing. I was always very superstitious.
Yeah, you were the guy that kept something in your fucking nut cup.
Yeah, I had a quarter in my nut cup.
There you go.
For 2 years.
Won't go into a machine now, will it? The machine just spits it out. The machine, you put it in the machine, go back.
It's it was my senior year of high school, and I hit a double, and I was running to second. As I was running to second base, I heard a jiggling noise, and I thought there was a pebble or a rock or something.
Yeah,
I knew something was moving around in my nut cup. I figured it was a rock, and so afterwards, when I got back to the dugout, I checked, and it turned out it was a quarter.
How did it get in there?
Because I didn't. So you know how you have that the jock strap has a cup.
It has
a pocket,
a pouch
for the nut
that
cup.
you put the nut cup in. Yeah,
and you wear sliding shorts.
Yeah,
you'd wear that over your sliding shorts. So like it wasn't like it was ever underwear.
Yeah.
So you just kept it like in your bat bag.
Right. Yeah.
So when you had practice, you threw it on over.
So
it
could have been a peanut M&M. It could have been a quarter.
It was. I had change in my bat bag.
Yeah.
And somehow it just worked its way in there. And
so you left it in there.
I realized right before I was going to take it out, and then I was like, wait a minute, I hit a double.
So then what happened?
So I left it in there, and I went I think I went 3 for 4 or 3 for 3 that game.
Yeah.
So it never left.
What did you do?
Even in college?
Did you ship it away to Cooperstown or anything for?
I did. Yeah, they wouldn't authenticate it though.
Put it.
They said I couldn't prove it was the same quarter.
I thought they put it right with George Brett's pine tar bat.
They did actually. That was the plan, but yeah, they just couldn't. I couldn't prove it was the same quarter.
I did a show one time in Sioux City, and Bill Gates showed up for the show. And it was a golf outing, and he had George Brett with him.
Are you fucking serious?
Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
I did a show. It was for Gateway Computers.
Oh my God.
Ted Waite was the guy. Kenny got me the gig, and anyway, said that they told me, okay, you're going to do the show. It's going to be a surprise guest. We can't tell you who it is. Sorry. So it was out at the country club, and I'm outside, and I'm doing a show, and all of a sudden, it's a golf outing. Up walks Bill Gates with George Brett.
But George Brett's the only one you knew, right?
Yeah.
No.
I knew. I knew who he looked like. So, and then I put two to two together because it was a computer thing. So I looked at Bill Gates. I said, "What? Why are you?" And I said, "How'd you get here without anybody knowing?" He says, "I flew." He says, "I flew commercial. I flew on Northwest coach." I said, "I'm thinking to myself, someone was sitting on that plane, just kept looking, going."
He wouldn't be in coach.
Exactly. And I said, I was joking about, you're rich enough where you could just pay a person to carry you piggyback and just hand you off to another person and and all the way around the country. So then the joke was, though, George Brett was there, and I said, so big golf outing tomorrow night. And I look at George Brett and I said, you can't play. said, "You're disqualified." And he kind of looked at me. I said, "They found pine tar on your putter." And he got a nice little laugh.
Yeah.
And then I got to talk to him afterwards, which was kind of cool. So
he's probably pretty fucking cool.
George Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah. The very first time I ever got close to him was about 30 years ago. I was down in Country Club Plaza with somebody partying, and we're at a restaurant, we're eating, and all of a sudden in the other room you could hear a bunch of fucking noise. And I said, "Why are they so fucking loud in there?" Like I was talking about people getting too loud. And he says, "That's George Brett and some friends. They're just drunk." And so I peeked around the corner and saw him. But that was one of the jokes I did on him too. I said, "I remember watching you play." I said, "I remember you would run out to third base and you would open your glove up, and Freddie Patek would run out of your glove." Because he was a shortstop who was like 5'3".
Yeah.
He said, "You'd open your glove and Freddie Patek would run to short." He liked that joke.
Yeah,
so,
I bet.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I feel like there's certain guys that seem like they'd like George Brett to me. I feel like would be cool. Like Mark Grace is cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I picked on him a little bit. He was nice. I mean, he wasn't overly nice, and he wasn't. But yeah, he could have been a prick. I mean, as far as like working with famous people, you've worked with quite a few, and then you've had your share of nice guys and not nice guys. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But that one, when they're in the crowd,
yeah,
they're usually pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
because you put on a show for them,
right? Yeah.
So there's almost like you're on this. They put you on their level a tiny bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
There's a level of respect there.
Yeah.
So it's just that's kind of your barrier breaker to where they treat you like you're not just an everyday person.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
now, as far as like,
but then when you're working with someone who
you've had mostly good experiences with the guys you've worked with, right?
Yeah, there's only been a couple.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, one dude, I liked just fine. He treated me just fine. I didn't like the way he
treated other people. Yeah,
I've
seen that. I've seen that many times.
Yeah, like, we were cool in the green room.
Yeah,
he didn't. He seemed to think my act was okay.
Yeah, but he was a prick to other people. I hate that.
But yeah, the thing is, I couldn't tell if it was just part of, if he was just keeping the gag going.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like a douche if I mention names and tell the story. But if I tell the story, I feel like people are going to know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. So tell the story.
So anyway, I just remember we were at the Kansas City Improv.
Okay. Nice club.
And it was the old one that had the movie theater.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
On the other side. And the bar was in the middle.
Yeah.
And the bar served both the club and the theater.
The one thing I liked about that was the green room, because they had it back there and you took that long hallway.
Right out to the stage. Yeah. Cool. Which the new club does the same thing.
I haven't been in the new club. Yeah.
The new clubs.
They still put you up at the nice Hilton over there?
Yeah. Right the airport one.
Yeah.
So anyway, the manager of the club comes back and he's like, "Hey, this one girl is waiting out there. Was seeing if you were going to come out, wanted to meet you." And I knew exactly the girl he's talking about. She was in the front row. I knew smoking.
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't really like the way her tits sat on her chest.
Wow. That's
I'm like,
weird thing to say.
Yeah. So I can't tell if he's just
I mean, that's
fucking her, because you never know how people are gonna you're not used to there's a hot chick in every crowd that wants to talk to you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when that happens to you every single night, maybe you have a little different fucking.
That's true. I never thought about that. Yeah.
But anyway, so fast forward, we end up out at the bar because there's a group of girls that the club manager brought in.
Yeah.
He's trying to be,
sure.
I'll introduce you to so and so, and we're standing there, and he was talking about the stools at the bar. You could kind of raise and lower them and whatever. And he's like, "Oh, these are the same stools I have in my kitchen." Guess how much they cost?
Yeah.
And this girl's like, I don't know, a couple $100, and he's like $900. And I'm like, I go, how many do you have?
Yeah.
And he goes, 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like my child support for a year, you fucking cunt.
Yeah.
And it's just like, don't you understand? You're standing, because he did have a lot of money, but
of course.
I can't stand guys that talk about their money like
no
that.
Kidding.
Like,
no shit.
And it's just like, you're standing here talking to people that don't have money.
Yeah.
Like,
you should have told them I have the same stools at mine. I have 1,000 of them. That's right. I spent $900,000 on stools. Yeah.
There's a dude that I went to school with.
I gotta be honest, from that little story, I can't tell who that is exactly.
No. Good.
Okay. Trying to put together what comic really spends a lot of money on partials.
I've said his name on other things, and I feel like at this like this particular podcast, I guess it just doesn't really. Yeah. I look like I'm nobody, like not being famous or anything. So like if I talk shit,
I hear you.
It just looks like it's sour grapes or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like I feel like I can tell these stories without mentioning names.
You don't have to.
So that
fuck that overpriced buying chair stool mother.
But yeah, and he was just I don't know. I didn't like that, just rubbed me the wrong way. And then this name I can mention because he's dead. Greg Giraldo.
Very brilliant comic.
Yeah. I worked with him and I was so pumped.
Yeah.
Like this was
was it the Bone?
No, this was also at the Kansas City Improv.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a period of time there where they used to call me a lot.
Yeah.
Back when
look at right there.
Yeah, old boy
funny
Brian. Kid. Remember Brian, the dude that ended up in Omaha and then stole money and
Oh, you know what the funny thing about Greg Giraldo? Didn't he die around the same time Paul did? There was a comic that died, and I'll tell you why.
I have to look at his
I remember
death date.
That Paul called me the day before he died to ask me about a gig, and I remember we talked about that, but then we talked about a comic that just died the day before, and I want to think it was him.
It may have been.
Yeah. Okay. What's the date? September 29th, 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was him.
It was him.
And then Paul died right after that.
Paul died August, right?
Yeah, I think it was August, or was it August?
I feel like
maybe it wasn't him.
I actually feel like it was September.
I thought it was October 1st or something like that.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Okay, anyway. So anyway, go back to your story.
Well, anyway, man, that's crazy. He was 44.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about 2010, 15 years ago.
Yeah. So he'd be 59.
15 years ago, I was opening for Giraldo, and he died and was 2 years younger than I am now.
Yeah.
When he died.
Yeah.
It's fucking mind-blowing.
From what I never met him, didn't know him, but it was like he was brilliant. He was an attorney. He had all the stuff. And I mean, you talk about other comics was like, he was like as smart and as good as they were, but
it's like Harvard educated or something like that.
But had a drug problem that he couldn't shake.
Couldn't kick the pills.
Yeah.
So I was so pumped up to work with him, and I had heard, that he was a partier. So I was like, sweet, I'll fucking smoke some weed with Greg Giraldo, party, and have a good time. And, I remember Brian, the manager of the club, told him like, oh, you'll love the opener, blah, blah, blah. Told him I was from Iowa. Everybody, when they knew I was from Iowa, those New York guys, man.
So they right away you're a hayseed?
Yeah, they right away they just think you're what they'll call like a road hack. Like that's one of those terms. the coasters love to throw around is road hack, which is code for Midwest comic.
Sure.
You know? But anyway, I was so pumped up because I looked up to him a lot. Like, I loved him. And he was cool to me. Complimentary of my set.
Was it just a weekend gig, or was it a week?
It was a week. It was a Thursday to Sunday. Okay. Well, Sunday, Thursday through Saturday, and then Sunday it was. I did a different show.
Yeah.
You know? But he was sober. He had a guy with him to keep him sober.
Oh wow!
And
that was the show.
That was a fairly new thing, I think. Show was great. He was Greg Giraldo. I mean, he was great. But I get off stage on the last show, and I'm walking back to the green room, and I get to the door, and he's at the time I would do. I would close with this joke where I would shave my head, and I would I'd have the mic like it was the razor.
I remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I get to the doorway, and his back's to the doorway, and his sober guy is in a chair in front of him.
Yeah.
So I can see that guy.
Yeah.
And Greg's standing there making fun of my bit.
Yeah.
And
oh fuck.
Yeah, and that dude sees me and looks at me, and I'm like, and then Greg turns around, oh nice set, you know, and I was just like, oh man, fuck. Yeah. Don't meet you here.
You know, that's something I never in a million years would, even if somebody sucked, I would, if I made fun of them, it would be a way of, you know what I mean? I would never even do that. I mean, I would never mimic or do anything like that to anybody else's act. I just don't, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't get it. I don't, it almost sounds like an after school special where the kid walks in on the other kid saying something about him, and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
kid stutters and
he was really cool and he made the team, and he's pumped that he made the team, and the guy's really nice to him, and then he comes in the locker room afterwards, and he's making fun of him.
Now the kid stutters, and he goes in the locker room.
We need a water boy, you guys.
Yeah. And he comes in the locker room, and then he hears the guy talking to the other guys going, yeah, maybe he could rebound for us. Yeah. He turns around and sees him. And, you know, it's one of those deals. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. You're the stutter.
Oh, you like my joke? You don't like my joke?
So after that, was that on the last night, so you didn't have to deal with him?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, okay. That was the very last show, you know. I had his number. We had texted a few times after that, but just it was
that sucks.
Yeah, that crushed me. I'm not gonna lie. I was, because I wanted him to like me so bad.
Yeah.
Because you know how it is in this business, when somebody you respect likes what you do or respects you, it's fucking.
You know, it's funny when you think about that when you're working for. I remember there was a comic, I can't think of who he was, but he was on a plane one time. And he got on the plane, and he saw James Brown on the plane, which I got a James Brown story when I met him too. But he sees James Brown on the plane, he's all excited because he actually opened for him 2 or 3 times, and did really well. And he opened for him once, and they had him back. So he goes up to James Brown, and I'm thinking, he goes, James Brown, he said, I don't remember. He says, I'm so sorry, I opened for you a couple times. James Brown went, I ain't seen an opening act in 30 years. Never did that. They left.
I never watched you. Somebody else said they liked you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
so you never met him.
When you headline the Funny Bone, something you ain't watching nobody. I mean, I might if I'm working a comedy club, I might go.
When I host the Funny Bone, I don't watch the headline.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I might do that maybe one time through, just so I make sure I'm not stepping on anything else.
Actually, I actually watch more of the show when I headline, because I don't want to.
You want to step on something, exactly.
Well, in that case, they're the ones stepping on something.
That's true.
But I want to make sure I don't get stepped on.
Yeah.
Or I avoid whatever, because you know, you shouldn't be in that position if you can't make the adjustment. Like I don't think guys should be. Yeah, I don't think I should be backstage going, "Hey, don't do this, don't do this."
See, that's.
It's you watch, you see what they do, you adjust. That's why you're in that position.
That's right. Yeah, if you can't follow all of it, then don't be headlining.
And that was I used to challenge myself like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember me and Dwayne went to Omaha, and I was closing the shows. Mm-hmm. We just did it was just a one night thing. I think we just did two shows, like 2 shows on a Friday or something. And Dwayne normally, when he would feature, he wouldn't play his guitar. He wouldn't bring his guitar.
Right.
Just kind of to not have that, let the headliner have. It's hard to follow a good, guitar actor, whatever. Anyway, I actually insisted that he brought his guitar.
He's fun when he does that too.
Well, yeah, and I just wanted to
because that's strong.
Challenge myself because my strategy always, I feel like it endears you to the audience. Like if you go up, if somebody in front of you does some shit that's hard to follow, then you go up and the first thing you do is piggyback it or call back to it. Or something. That's what I would always do.
Oh,
like Bush, me and Bush were doing a co-headline week in Omaha, and Bush was like, "You can just close them all. I don't care."
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't going to do a shadow.
Yeah.
Puppet. I was like, "No, do your fucking shadow puppet."
Yeah. I mean,
So I had to
make my game come up.
Yeah, I had to figure out how to follow, and so I would just go up and I'd make a joke like I would fucking make.
Exactly. I mean, that does. I mean, that exercises your comedic muscles.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what. There are some guys. I mean, I think over the years, the guys that I've had open for me that just went on to do great things. But one of the toughest acts I ever had to follow was a guy named Jason Russell. You know Jason Russell?
Yeah.
He used to do this bit where he was like a gay hairdresser. That's redundant. He was a hairdresser, which I think. Anyway, and he would bring a person on stage and tease their hair and do this. I mean, it was insane.
Holy shit, really?
People would lose their fucking minds. And I remember he would close with that. I mean, like that. Sometimes you get standing ovation with it. I mean, you're just like, and you're just sitting back there going, "What am I going to do?"
Yeah.
But you're right. You had to piggyback on it. You had to acknowledge it, and hopefully you had something to add to it, and then just take them to the next level. But
well, because I mean, I'm a purist, like music cues and shit. That's cheating to me.
I know. We had this conversation. This could be a whole show. We ought to do like a call-in show for that, just to talk to people.
All the things that I'm cunty about.
I remember when you were younger, you were almost the comic. You were the comic police for a while there. If you didn't like something, you'd let me know.
Who was I? I think I was talking about this the other night. I was trying so hard when I was really young. I see my son do it sometimes. I with wrestling, like.
It's just a competitiveness. I mean, that's just
I think
no matter what it is, it's going to make you.
But I was trying to be more than I was, or at least project more. Like, I remember hearing early on about how Robin Williams was a joke thief, and that was like this inside knowledge, right?
Right.
And so I couldn't wait to tell regular people that Robin Williams was a joke thief. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you hear about
I know. Hey, I know.
Cook, Dennis Leary.
Exactly. And so here's a step further. This is how bad I hated Dane Cook, right? Dane Cook was everything that's wrong, And I didn't think he was funny. I'd watch it,
Yeah.
I remember he had this special, it was a Comedy Central, like half hour maybe or something. And he was doing some bit about the drive-through or something. He was like, and pickles, and it nothing was funny about it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And of course, it was cool to fucking hate Dane Cook,
sure.
right?
Oh yeah,
he was a thief. He was a
Carlos
whatever.
Mencia.
Yeah. I got in a fight with my ex-wife. My ex-wife went to a Dane Cook show.
He was cute as shit.
And I got in a huge fight with her about it. I was so mad at her. I was on the road.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about Dane Cook now? I mean,
I don't give a fuck now. Okay. Like, I don't.
I mean, but you still just don't think he's funny.
I couldn't even tell you the last time. I don't think that version of him was funny.
Yeah.
Whatever that version was back then, I didn't think he was funny. Right.
Yeah. To me anymore, it's like we've had this conversation about.
But I don't begrudge people what brings them success now.
But like you said, we've talked about this. When somebody's really funny, people say, "Do you think he's funny?" He said, "I can tell you when somebody's funny because if I watch him and it makes me hate myself, then you know he's funny. When you look at him and go, what am I even doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I should be calling the county, getting a job."
And I remember her and her friend went and fought with her about it all night.
Well, she went for a different reason too, because I mean, he was Matt Rife before Matt Rife.
Yeah. Well, and then it was funny because later on, like a day or two later, because I remember the fight, I was like,
"Oh, I'm sure you even
because like she worked in insurance, right?" And I was like, "What if I fucking went and got insurance somewhere else?"
Just trying to find a
trying so hard.
God, I can't imagine that coming up in a really heated.
Dude, I was legit mad.
I'm gonna go get term insurance. 20-year term. Non-smoking. Fuck him, I'm gonna lie.
Fucking State Farm. I'm going to State Farm.
God.
He's wearing khakis.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I mean, part of you is, I mean, especially when you're with a girl, it's like, I'm gonna go see Dane Cook, and in your mind you're going, you don't even think, you just want to fuck him. You change it all up in your head.
It ended up though a couple days. She said, like, she said that she went to see, like, she went expecting to see some kind of next level.
Yeah.
Like, because she'd been to so many shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she was like, this should be the next. And she goes, I've seen tons of better comics. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to fucking tell you.
She said, but I'd still fuck him.
Yeah. She'd have fucked that money. That's for sure.
Well, you heard his story. They got a documentary coming on. They did a documentary. He was on. I heard him not too long ago.
It got pretty dark for him, I think.
Well, yeah, he was just on with David Spade and Dana Garvey, and he's got the special coming up real soon. His brother fucking robbed him blind.
Oh yeah,
his brother. I mean, took all his money, millions of dollars, and Dana, he had to start over basically. I mean, he said I had millions and millions of dollars, and my brother and my sister-in-law literally drained my account. His brother, he said his brother's in prison
for robbing him.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't recover that. It's gone.
No.
Wow.
Exactly. So he tried to pick himself up by his bootstraps and start over again.
So do you think it was his brother that took it or karma?
There you go. That's
or was it the comedy god?
The comedy police are coming in to tell you what happened.
Either you lose all your money or we find you in a closet with a rope around your neck.
Exactly.
That's how this is.
It's funny because they always had the people that they stole from, like it was like
they do like right next to each other. And it would be like verbatim. Yeah.
Carlos Mencia stole from a bunch of people, but Dane Cook, I'm trying to think, I can't remember. I know one of them stole a bit verbatim from Dane Cook stole from Louis C.K.
And then they did an episode. No, it was an itchy asshole. It was
okay.
So there was an episode of Louis where he had Dane Cook in the episode, and they basically did the conversation of the confrontation.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was, and Dane Cook's basically going, "What makes you think you have a monopoly on talking about having an itchy asshole?"
Well, yeah, they were saying that, I remember that used to be a thing. It was what's it called? Parallel thinking. I mean, I remember I had a joke a long time ago that I did, and I heard it. I mean, it was back. This is how long I've been doing comedy. When Boy George had the song "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?" And I remember saying something to the effect of, "George Boy, do you really want to hurt me? I want to fucking kill you." You know what I mean? But and then I've heard 25. But itchy asshole. Maybe I can see maybe. But I mean, there was a bit that he did where he was talking about a guy was riding a bike and somebody opened the car door and he saw him and he tried to stop him and the guy hit the car and it was literally word for word.
Yeah, he did this whole slow motion.
Yeah, exactly. That's not parallel.
I can't remember who the comic was though.
I think it was Louis C.K.
The Louis C.K. thing was
it Louis C.K.? No, maybe
not that bit.
No, maybe it was somebody.
Louis C.K. was never theatrical.
No,
like that.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could probably Google it and find it out, but I mean,
well, then there was I remember there was a thing with Amy Schumer and Patrice O'Neill. They did
Amy's been accused for a lot of Amy. For her show, they said she stole a lot of stuff that was written for the show, but then you come to find out it was some of her writers. And one of them was the guy that John Bush deals with now.
Kyle Dunnigan?
Not Kyle Dunnigan. It's a guy that writes for him. That's done. I know who you're talking about. Damn it, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Kurt.
Yeah,
Kurt
Metzger.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. What's so funny is 30 years ago, Bush had a guy open for him in Michigan one time who did my Michael Phelps joke.
Really? Okay. Verbatim.
Yeah.
And it was at that time I had a deal with Rooftop Comedy, who used
I remember that. Yeah.
They used to film in all these different clubs. There were more indie clubs like Crackers. And,
right.
They filmed at Skyline in Appleton, and they filmed at Go Bananas in Cincinnati. So I had some videos from all those clubs up there. And the Michael Phelps joke was one. Well, that website was popular, especially amongst young comics.
Yeah.
And so that bit was up there, and this dude did the bit. And Bush called him out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The Johnny Good Boy.
Yeah. Bush was like, hey. And I mean, he called him out like Bush. Yeah. He didn't get confrontation.
Hey, that's a lot like
that. Because, I got a buddy. Yeah.
Johnny.
And Bush said the next night, the guy came back and goes, oh, yeah, I saw he's been doing it longer. So I'm like, yeah. I know I've been doing it longer because you fucking took it.
It's funny that you think about how comics used to steal 30 years ago was a lot easier because it took word of mouth.
Nobody would.
And nowadays you can't
get away with it.
Not for a second.
No.
I mean, they'll live stream you right to whoever watch.
And I think that's why comedy at this point is more stories.
Yeah.
People you have to talk about your own life.
Exactly.
And your own stories about your own shit.
Oh, because otherwise you'll be called out in a minute. But what's funny is when I think about when comedy was in the 40s and 50s, the Cats, they used to share. I mean, it was a shared. I mean, if you ever watch Broadway Danny Rose, you got all these comics sitting at the deli, Cat's Deli, and they're talking. I did the bit about you ought to try this one, and they would go back and forth, and they would share.
Yeah,
it was just a share.
Well, and that was like a vaudeville. Right, vaudeville was like this whole show.
Yeah.
And each show had its thing.
Yeah, it's comedian.
This is the comedian for this.
Yeah, and he would do this material that somebody might do it someplace else.
It was no different than Triple Espresso. There's 4 different cats doing the same play at 4 different locations.
I saw the coolest thing just on YouTube. I was bouncing around and I saw Keenan Ivory Ryan's, the guy that did.
I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah, when he had Living Color.
Yeah, the oldest Wayne.
Yeah, he's the one that started off. He was doing it. They were doing a tribute to Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was in the audience, and he said he started talking about when he used to watch him, and he went into the story, and he talked about how he never met Richard Pryor, and he said he had chances. He says Eddie Murphy wanted me to introduce me to him, and somebody else wanted, and he says I never wanted to meet you, and he's sitting right there, and he hasn't met him yet. He said I wanted to meet you as a fan. I wanted to meet you when I actually had something that I've done that
we could talk as like equals.
And he said, and now it's the time. So he did this whole thing and talked about him, and then he got off stage and then met him, I mean, it was cool. And Richard Pryor, he's sick at the time.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor was hugging himself. I thought, well, how cool that. I mean, he had all these chances and he wouldn't do it. What foresight to think, okay, I'll just wait till I do an award show and he'll be sitting in the crowd. And well,
yeah, I wouldn't have had the patience for that.
No,
nor the self-belief.
Yeah, no, it's the weirdest thing is, as a comic, I have no confidence in myself. I have every time I go on stage, it's like I've got to try to fool these fuckers again, thinking I got something going on. So,
yeah, I've found my confidence lacking a little more, like in the last couple of years, which is more so, I think, because I know I don't have that same obsession that I had back in the day.
Well, you were talking about you used to be an obsessive guy about a lot of things.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think that's what kind of drove you. And I mean, that's kind of like your fuel.
Yeah,
and I think your fuel's low right now because either you're content or running out of gas.
Yeah, like I was saying, like I miss being obsessed with just anything at all, exactly. because you would just engulf yourself. Yeah. So I mean, maybe like as life has gone on, like so it's almost like it's not worth it.
The show's turned into
like what's the point of getting obsessed about this fucking thing? I'll forget about it in like a year. I'm fucking get obsessed with something else. Now I'm just like, what's the fucking point? Let's put my feet up. Watch fucking Severance.
Yeah. Is that a good show?
It's fucking good.
I gotta watch it.
But it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, super bizarre.
Yeah, I think as you get older, I think that's the one thing that if you say, what do you miss most in life? Yeah, I mean, I miss my abs, and I guess I miss, and I never had good ones to start with, but I miss what kind of look like them. But it's a passion. It's the want to. It's sad. I every time I see a young comic, they say, what are you most jealous of them for? Is it their youth? Is it? I said, no, it's just the passion, and
it's the wide-eyed.
I miss. You know what I miss about comedy? I miss butterflies.
Yeah,
I miss the fact that just can't wait to get on stage and do it.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I had any butterflies before I went on stage. Honestly, like I don't recall ever. Like my first few times on stage, there was like nervous energy, I think.
You wouldn't say butterflies.
But I never felt butterflies. Like butterflies to me were like nervous. You know what I mean? Like nerves.
Yeah.
Like I can remember having butterflies before some baseball games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the butterflies, what I mean, and like a baseball game, where in your mind, you've already worked out this little play in your head.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to go on stage. I'm going to do this joke and the room's going to go crazy. And then I'm going to follow with this joke and it's going to get even better. You know what I mean? It's like in baseball. When you say to yourself, first time I'm bat, I'm going to get a liner down the line. I'm going to get a double. And then, then I'm going to make a play at third. I mean, you know what I mean? Then you worked it all up in your head that you want it to happen and you feel it inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in a way. Like for me, it was more I don't know how to explain the nerve, like those butterflies before a baseball game, like like taking infield before the game. Like I remember just feeling a little nerves, like in those first couple of times but it was so weird. And then we were talking about this earlier with the superstitions. I made up my mind when I started doing comedy that I would never be superstitious about it.
Yeah.
I was never going to have a lucky pair of socks or, I got to do this before every show or it's going to be, I refuse to do that to myself.
You have not one ritual you do before a show?
Nothing.
I do one thing every time. I do the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
I'm going up to bat.
Yeah.
I just, and there was a time in my life when I wasn't actually very religious at all. I mean, I think I'm more religious now, but I mean, there was a time in my life when I questioned everything. Yeah. But that was still my thing. I got to tell you something. The most.
But you grew up Catholic.
Oh yeah, big time.
But like baseball. If I didn't have Wade Boggs had the bucket of chicken and all that, like.
You had a quarter in your crotch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there was all this stuff with baseball that if it didn't happen, like it would fuck me up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'm not going to do that with comedy.
Yeah.
I refuse to because so much of it's going to be beyond my control before the show starts.
That's true.
I can't let something happen in the room.
Yeah.
That ruins my fucking show.
You know what's funny? Me and you have the same kind of thing going on right now in that. When I think about the most nervous and excited I've ever been in my life, it's not the first time I did TV. It's not the first time I did a big show. Before the first pitch my daughter threw at the state tournament.
Yeah.
I was
beside yourself.
And I've seen you with your son when he gets on the mat. It's
his kickboxing, the real fight. Yeah, I don't get too nervous about wrestling.
Yeah.
Because
it's a show, but I mean, there's all kinds of things.
I mean, they beat the fuck out of each other. Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when they're doing the high flying, the goal is to put on a show and protect each other from injury.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was kickboxing,
that's a real deal.
That guy's trying to hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there ain't shit I can do about it.
No, but I mean, you understand that feeling is it's weird. It's not you. But it's more so than I've ever felt for myself.
100%.
Not even close.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there's that cliche where they say, a kid's like your heart walking around outside your body.
Yeah.
That's no more evident than in those moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
And coaching my son in Little League and stuff, I would get more nervous before those games than I got for any of my own games.
Yeah.
I was so much more intense coaching, like locked in coaching than I was as a player.
I agree with you 100%.
And because it's out of your hands, when you're playing.
Well, it's your heart too. Like you said, it's more. I mean,
it's when it and when it's out of your hand,
Yeah.
Like. She's there ain't shit you can do. She's out on an island.
Yeah. Exactly.
And same deal with the ring. He's on that island. You just have to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say that's going to help anything. I mean, you just are a spectator.
Yeah.
And I like the first kickboxing match. I didn't eat for 2 days.
Yeah. It's like you're getting in shape for it.
It was fucking insane because my stomach was so just in knots. And the funny thing about it was though, you get there and I'm a nervous wreck the entire time. And then the bell rings. And as soon as the bell rang, I just wanted fucking blood. I'm just like, kill this motherfucker. Fucking hit him. Yeah.
Oh,
God. And he got a knockdown that first fight. We knocked the dude down. It was great because like all my friends came.
Yeah.
And they're all just celebrating, they're all shoving me, they're all getting in my face, it was awesome. And then I remember the second one, the dude he fought the second time looked like he had a fucking screw loose. So I was like,
my baby's in the ring with the cycle.
Oh my God. And he won his first fight, and his first fight to second fight, even though he won the first one, it was night and day. It was like he was a veteran all of a sudden. Like he was so much better, and he dominated that dude.
Yeah. Now, is he had any more of those, or
he had a third one? He lost his third one, and the third one he shouldn't have took.
Yeah.
He needed money, and
sure,
he missed a whole bunch of training because he was wrestling, and like he didn't give it what he gave the.
I mean, it's like a buckets list, though, man. He's done something that
nobody's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting in a fight on purpose.
Yeah,
is a completely different. I mean, granted, there's weight classes and there's some stuff.
Still, the fact that you decide to do,
you just get in the ring and sign up to get
it's got to do something with your whole psyche of who you are as a person. I mean, I think you walk a little taller. I mean, you might have a little chip on your shoulder. I mean, that I can handle myself. That's something very cool.
And I told him I'm hoping he still wants to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about doing like full on MMA too.
Yeah,
I'd rather he didn't do that either. But the thing with the kick, it was like, okay, you proved it. You needed to prove to yourself at least that you were tough or whatever.
Exactly.
But now that it's been proven,
let's move on. Something
because
get that injury.
Well, because as you keep going, you're gonna start fighting guys that this is all they do.
I mean,
they give
the other day
about.
When you had me watching
Jeremy Stevens on the bare knuckle,
that is just fucking savage.
It's not the most brutal shit you've ever seen.
And I'm trying to figure out. There's people like them just walking around outside. I mean, this is why anymore you bump into somebody, apologize as quickly as possible. And I'm not just talking about the Jeremy. He apologized to that little 112-pound girl.
Yeah,
you have no idea. She'll knock you out in a minute. Jesus,
it's fucking savage.
Yeah.
I can't take my eyes off it though.
It's
like I know you look like
I watched the whole thing with you, man.
You looked like you never wanted to see it again. You could go the rest of your life without ever seeing it again.
I know, but on the other hand, you watch it's like
train wreck.
But that's the whole thing is you watch those guys get knocked out and you think they got parents too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like dude's mom's at home going, "Oh God,
I know, I was
baby."
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that when he was fighting.
Yeah, no shit.
Like that dude that he knocked down is that dude's fucking parents on the other side of the ring, watching me go fucking kill that motherfucker.
Exactly. Damn. Yeah.
I bet it was like it reminds me of like you see the wrestling parents at a wrestling meet.
Oh God, yeah.
Like that was remember when 2 years ago when Spencer Lee lost?
Yeah.
Did you see his mom?
Fight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Broke her glasses. Yeah. God. So you know how he grew up. I mean, they're all insane over at that house. Mom, can I have some more potatoes?
Not only that,
they're
all fucking 5'2".
Oh yeah. Mom, I like more taters. Yeah. You want more taters? Get down to 3-point. Let's go.
Because that's the thing. Like you run into a guy. What does he wrestle at? 125
yeah,
or
exactly.
something?
Yeah. He's 5'7".
Yeah, like you run into
I'm 5'7", I'm 201.
I run into Spencer Lee at a bar somewhere. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me.
Well, once again, it's not even guys like him. It's the Paige Van Zants. It's those little cute girls that do that MMA that could fuck you up. You know what I mean?
At the very least, they could get you in like a submission or something. Oh, yeah.
A girl the size of my daughter can measure. Yeah. Claudia, when we were younger, Claudia always liked to watch MMA with me. And she goes, I want to do this. I said, what are you going? She goes, I already got a name. I'm Pounding Ground Farrell. I said, stick with the softball. I want to watch you.
Ground and Pound Farrell.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know, man. Watching the real fighting is
a whole different thing. Because you know the consequences more. I mean, and what people don't understand about even the fake wrestling is the athleticism and the danger of shit that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they'll all tell you, like, it's not. They'll tell you it's not fake.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and the only thing that is scripted is the outcome.
Yeah.
Like. All they know is who's supposed to win,
and they have to figure out how to do it, make it look real, and the athleticism it takes to do all that. And I mean, you hear about all the time all these old wrestlers that got problems from
Mick Foley. This fucking guy can't walk.
Yeah, wasn't there a guy that died on the ring? There were two brothers, and one of them killed. He got hurt, broke his neck or something.
Well, Owen Hart.
Yeah,
he.
That's
there's a whole bunch of hearts.
Yeah,
but yeah, Owen Hart was. Rappelling down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Busted.
Yeah. There you go.
He just fucking. And then they continued with the
That's because that's what the show must go on, baby.
Show must go on. Do you imagine those guys having to go in? Like I've watched some documentaries about it and stuff. And they talk about like going in the ring afterwards, and his blood is on the ring. You know, like it's just fucking crazy.
The rest of it, hey, there's a good chance Hulk Hogan might be Secretary of Defense if Trump gets his way. So you never know.
He's gonna, you know, when you got two tanks.
That's right, babe.
Well, I just read something where you said we're gonna take over the Gaza Strip.
They're gonna put a luxury hotel.
Yeah, he's gonna turn the Gaza Strip into a fucking
French Riviera or something.
There you go.
I heard they're gonna put a PF Chang's in there.
That's worked out so well for the Israelis to control it.
You can go over here. You can worship. Then you can play 9 holes.
How do you get there? Well, first you get down to the Gulf of America. You take a ship.
Who was I talking to? Was it somebody? It might have been you. Did you? Somebody I know, friend of a friend of a friend, something, had to golf with Trump.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
that's
was caddying.
Really?
Somebody knew somebody that caddied. Man, I'm trying to remember, but he literally like will just pick up his ball and go hit it from where he wants. It's like
and give himself a trophy at the end.
He basically golfs exactly like the King of England you would think would golf or whatever.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Like he's got the court gesture, he fucking hits it 7 times and he's like, put me down for a birdie.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Like 100%. That's what I heard that he literally just fucking cheats his balls off the whole time he's golfing.
All right, we are way behind.
Even remotely surprised me.
We are way behind, so we got to get an ad.
You're muted, Chris. You're muted.
And now,
can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Hold on. I might have the gain down too far, actually. Talk now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was like, everything's working on my end. All right, we are way behind. Let's get our sponsors, and then I've got 3 topics to go over with you guys. So,
okey-doke.
All right,
let's go.
All right, let's get a word from our sponsors: Revelton Distilling Company, Greenberry Realty, of course, brought to you from the AKC Andrew Downs Marketing Studios.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. In 2023, a crack Green Beret named Dan Douglas retired his military command and promptly escaped to a full-time career in real estate. Today, this man is wanted by home buyers and sellers who want to survive the process without spending a fortune. If you have a home to sell or want to buy one, maybe you can hire Dan Douglas at Green Beret Realty. You can find him at greenberetrealty.com. greenberetrealty.com.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're back.
You didn't play the fucking basketball commercial.
No, I figured you were getting tired of hearing about the We Will Collective on your podcast. So
yeah, I'm done. I was tired of it. You're right. That was a good call.
All right, Caitlin Clark.
It was the Academy Award-winning acting that was happening in that commercial.
Hey, listen, I used your line.
I know. Yeah, and you delivered it like shit.
Well, then you should win. Why I hired. That's why I want. Well, hired. I wasn't paying anybody, but that's why I wanted a professional to go.
Oh, I know. I know.
So,
I'm sorry.
Caitlin Clark had her jersey retired yesterday. Sunday. Yes, that's right. So prompts the question, who or what childhood sports hero do you think should have their jersey retired that's not?
Very good question.
Well, I'm gonna go right. I think that the A's need to retire Ricky Henderson's jersey.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. It's not? That's hard to believe.
No, I don't think so.
Do most people think that he's an A, or do they more associate him with being a Yankee?
He did way more damage with the A's. He was with the A's twice.
Yeah.
He started and ended, I believe, right? Well, not ended. He ended up kind of jumping around a lot of places, but
I can't believe that it's not retired. It's hard to believe that. Wow.
I'm trying to think.
August 1st, 2009, his number was retired. He's considered one of the greatest base runners in leadoff history.
Oh, he was? It was retired.
I would think so.
Okay, well, fuck.
Number 24 was retired by the Oakland A's in 2009.
Oh, well, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
What do you call it? I know. I don't know if any. I think my daughter's number should be retired at Grandview.
Or Dowling.
Or Dowling, but definitely Grandview. She was a 4-time. She's the only woman up until this year who was a 4-time All-American at Grandview.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, there was 5 wrestlers in her, and then a girl this year made it for wrestling. Also,
do they have a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, she'll get into that, but they take 10 years.
Yeah, you got a time frame.
Yeah. So yeah, number 11 should be retired at Grandview, as far as I'm concerned.
How about this? What Iowa player has not had his number retired that should have retired?
Oh God, there's a bunch of those guys.
Top of your head, first one comes.
Ronnie Lester, is his number retired?
I have no idea.
Well, Luke Garza, what you call it?
Luca?
Luca Garza, his number's not retired.
I'm trying to remember if they retired his or not.
They retired Gustafson. I saw when they put Caitlin Clark's up. Gustafson's is retired. Caitlin Clark. There was one other girl that was retired up there, I saw. But yeah, I don't think Garza's is. I don't think
Garza's
Murray's.
was
I don't think
retired
Murray's
at
is.
a halftime ceremony during February 22nd, 2022. So just 2 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they did retire Garza's jersey.
Yeah, I felt like that was right afterwards. Yep.
I didn't see that.
Which, have they done Keegan?
I don't know. Let's look.
They probably better do Keegan Murray if they have.
He's not retired, but his jersey is. His school.
Well,
his
you know what?
sorry.
You know, Luca graduated.
Yeah.
You know, that might.
But Iowa doesn't have that requirement. Iowa State does, which is the reason why Marcus Pfizer, Jamal Tinsley.
Yeah, all those guys aren't. Yeah.
Those guys aren't retired. Jamie Pollard will not retire those numbers unless they graduate.
Well, they should. The fucking admission standards are dog shit.
Shut up. Now you're just talking out of your ass. You don't even
you don't. Dude, the Big 12. The Big 12 has the worst admission standards in the country. You didn't know that?
Shut up.
Look it up.
Well, that's maybe why I got in.
Fucking Google it. Why you think Jamal Tinsley could have fucking got in anywhere else?
He had a handle though. Come on,
Jesus
Billy.
Fucking Christ,
Ball had a handle.
That motherfucker couldn't even spell ACT.
He was a Brooklyn point guard. Did we just have that conversation earlier?
He spelled Jamal.
You're gonna ruin my chances of getting him on the show.
Yeah, you need to look up Big 12 admission standards, bruh.
I'm looking right now.
Contrast to the Big 10. The Big 10 has some of the toughest. The Big 12 has some of the shittiest.
Iowa State University, most admitted students score in the top 36% nationally on the ACT.
That's not what I asked. What are the athletic admissions standards?
I don't know. It's too much to Google. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's actually, you Google that exact sentence. Don't bother, because I've already done it. Don't bother. I've already done it, and I'm right.
So, okay, all right, you're right.
Just looking for an argument against Iowa State.
That's right. He's so emphatically like their standards are the worst.
Do you think that fucking Troy Davis could have got in anywhere else and tried to win the Hyman Trophy?
Hyman.
Oh. What was Cardell Jones's line? We didn't go to school for grades or something like that. What was his line?
Get degrees, baby.
That's right. That's right. All right. Next topic. 2 days ago was Groundhog's Day, which I think is a fake fucking thing. Don't even get me started on that. But what superstition or belief as a kid did you really buy into?
Groundhog Day. So the admission standard.
I'll tell you what I had.
You think Jamal Tinsley?
When I was a kid, we were led to believe, and this is true, that there could never be a tornado in Des Moines because the rivers crossed.
My mom just said it to me the other day.
Yeah.
We were driving back.
I mean, when we were kids, I mean, that was,
like legit in the city.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that. So whenever it's tornado warnings, fuck, we were outside just looking because that bitch ain't gonna land here.
That's right.
Did we talk about that on here before?
Maybe.
I don't think maybe.
Or maybe on the other one.
I don't know.
But I believe that might actually be true.
I don't think it is. I don't think
Dude,
it is.
Think about all the tornadoes that have been through here in your lifetime.
Willie,
not a single one has touched down anywhere.
Call your buddy
downtown.
Ed Wilson. Call your buddy Ed Wilson.
I know. No,
Ed's going to say that's not a real
I've
thing,
actually talked to Ed about that, and Ed kind of giggles and goes, yeah, I know people do believe that, but there have been ones that have actually touched down, bing, and came back up, and didn't stay down.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because of the two river thing. I don't know. I mean,
they can be in the water.
Yeah.
At least according to Twister.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's called a cyclone. Thank you very much.
Dorothy said so.
Oh my god.
But I did though. I mean, the reason I was thinking about it is because remember years ago, there was a tornado that touched down in downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
Like destroyed downtown Nashville.
There was one that wrecked part of downtown Detroit too.
Yeah. And so evidently they don't have two rivers that cross.
Exactly.
Because
big fucking lake in Detroit.
I mean, it's funny because I always thought of that thing too. I was always told that too as a kid, and I always thought of it as bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean, here I am.
Yeah.
All these you haven't seen it.
I'm 68 years old. I haven't seen one. Yeah.
And have you ever seen a tornado?
No.
At all?
I want to. There's a part of me that wants to.
We had one on the outskirts.
There's a part of me that doesn't.
Have you seen one, Chris?
Yeah, there was one that went to the outskirts of Norwalk 2 years ago that
I keep one thing I want to see, but I think I would.
Did you see it like from your deck or something? Or
I was in the basement looking up through the egress window, and it was pretty aggressive. So,
you know what? I think I want to see it, but then I think if I did, it'd be like when I was watching that porn real close. That ad. I think it would frighten me in just the same way.
All of a sudden,
I think I've heard the story now. Didn't Ross talk about a time where he
yeah, his roof got ripped off the house.
But was he in Des Moines at that time or not?
Huh?
Was he in Des Moines at that time?
Yeah, Altoona. Yeah, Pleasant Hill.
That counts. That's Des Moines. That counts.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, out, Pleasant Hill out there.
Not close enough to the two rivers.
No.
No, I guess not. You're right.
But what was I going to, now I forgot what I was going to fucking say. The tornadoes. I saw one because people think that people outside of Iowa or people that live on the coast and stuff, they just assume everyone's seen a tornado.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I went my whole life, never saw one. There was one or two. I think there were two, kind of next to each other at one point. Back around Bondurant several years ago, maybe about 10-ish years ago.
You saw those?
And I saw them coming out of
the tip.
They didn't come down all the way, but that was the first time I saw like funnel clouds, like that shit was happening.
It's like your first homosexual experience. You saw just the tip.
I felt just the
it's like you're right about that because you think everybody who lives in California has been in an earthquake.
Yeah.
You think everybody
probably have.
Probably have. You're wrong, but
but there's nothing to see with an earthquake.
No,
it just shakes or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, but and now I'm trying to think of a superstition as a kid that I believed.
That was the big one with me.
Well, the thing is, I was always kind of superstitious just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily believe them, but I like the black cat thing.
Oh yeah.
Black cat crossing your path.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a book there's this book in elementary school where I read they went through a bunch of those superstitions and then like what you were supposed to do to counteract them. So like if a black cat crossed your path, you were supposed to walk over the path, wherever the cat was, you're supposed to walk past it and then walk backwards past it again. And then turn around and walk backwards past it, and then turn around and keep walking.
And then do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
And so I do remember actually doing that after a black cat crossing my path, doing the turning around. And I think like if you walked under a ladder, you're supposed to do it backwards or something. I remember.
We laugh about superstitions, but in a way, we all kind of you do kind of feel them.
When I was younger, for the longest time, if I like touched a wall X number of times, I'd have to do it the same thing with my left hand.
Oh yeah, you're like me. I got OCD to that point.
I can remember one time I was working at Skeffington's Formal Wear on the south side, and
Southwest 9th there. That's where I get.
So it was actually the older building, kind of where that Casey's is now and whatever.
Yeah.
Where Tercy's used to be. Tercy's used to be in there. So. Yeah. I closed up the shop one night, and apparently I forgot to close the back door. I forgot to close the big back door, which
we're talking South Side, Billy.
Yeah. So I was sure that I had locked it. Well, ever since then, and that was 40 years ago, I literally have to check a door 5 or 6 times before I leave. Like I will yank on the door. And I was working at the Clive store one time, and would lock the door and walk over and shake the door. And then I'd get in my car, and then I'd convince myself that I shook the door so hard that it unlocked itself. So I'd go check it again.
That's OCD. You got what I
drove all the way to the south side.
Yeah.
Got in my driveway and turned around and drove all the way back to make sure that door was checked.
I'm like that to a certain degree.
Yeah. That's the OC. That's the O part. Of the OCD.
Obsessive, yes.
That's the obsessive.
I have that too. I mean, there's times I do weird shit like that too. Double, triple check.
I used to, as a kid, when I would like shoot baskets in my backyard.
You have to make the last one.
It wasn't that I couldn't quit unless I made an even number.
No, okay.
In a row. Yeah. So, and then it got to where I couldn't quit if it was 2.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I to this day, if I shoot baskets, just screwing around shooting baskets, I have to make the last one.
Yeah. I always had to make the last
one. And that's why I don't play basketball anymore, because I don't think I can make a fucking layup. So I mean, I could be out there all day. So
yeah.
All right. Final topic. I don't know if you guys saw this news story. So obviously the Super Bowl is this weekend. The NFL is removing the end racism from the Super Bowl end zone for the first time since 2021. So it begs the question. Is it because we've successfully ended racism, or because racism is okay now?
It's because it's Donald Trump, and we're not doing that shit anymore. That's what Donald Trump's all about. That's why did you see what the LGBT? They're getting rid of the T.
Yeah.
Oh, for the trans.
Yeah, they're getting rid of it, and they're also getting rid of all the pronouns. You can't have he, she, they, them.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, of all the major problems we have in the world, I don't think those are the ones we really.
He's trying to get rid of things that he can't get rid of. You can't take the T out of the initialism that is just a symbol for a fucking
group I know
of people.
Exactly.
Like there isn't some governmental agency that decided LGBTQ whatever. Like that's their community that made those
exactly.
up.
Yeah.
So they're gonna continue to use them.
Exactly. But yeah, then racism is just for the mere fact that with this new government we have in there now, they just they must have leaned on the NFL and basically said, "Oh, but this is the way we're headed." So get that off of there. I think. What do you think?
I think we've successfully ended racism. I think there's
you might be right. We might be done with all that
about it. Listen,
call the BLM people and tell them to close up shop. We're good now.
Listen,
we're all good.
I didn't own any slaves.
I did not either.
My parents didn't own any slaves.
No.
Why do I have to pay
for
them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I played the disclaimer that.
Listen, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of race being a topic of conversation. You want to end racism, then just don't talk about it.
You get weird at the end of the night, Billy. I'll tell you that. You just get weirder and fucking, you know.
I always, you know what I do? I actually worry sometimes on the podcast in particular. Like sometimes I worry about publicly speaking in satirical tones. Like
so people ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. So do the people that run this thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go that way. You mean you're afraid like a sponsor's gonna come to you and you're gonna have to be like, it was satire. He doesn't really.
Well, that's
they know who you are.
My thing is, I take no political stance. I'm not about that at all. If I just said what I said, I'm just repeating what it looks like to me. It's not. I'm not taking a stance. I don't. I'm not taking a stance for transgender or against transgender. They can be what they want to be. Donald Trump. It's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. Everything's
Here's
good.
the thing.
We're just moving on.
Here's the thing. Gun to my head.
Yeah.
Gotta suck a dick, right?
Well, I don't
like.
That's the way.
Like
people say, how was the end of?
You're right, man. The end of these shows, Willie. The end of these shows get fucking off the rails.
The end of the show, Billy's blowing somebody.
I'm saying.
Okay.
This is a hypothetical.
I hope the God is. I would hate to think that at the end of our show, someone's got a gun to your head and you're sucking a dick. It would be. I don't think I want to end the show that way.
This is a hypothetical that I want you guys to really put yourself in the shoes.
Okay.
Of the guy who's got you have to suck this dick.
Okay.
Like nothing you can do about it.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a gun to my head. I gotta suck this dick.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather it had some tits attached to it.
So once again, the transgenders are back. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're saying why then you could touch a titty or something?
I'll feel less gay if I got some titties. Like,
okay. And for anybody that's watching this show, have that visual as the end of your night. Billy blowing a transgender while he's getting getting second base.
You know what I mean? Like if they make you.
Yeah,
if you don't have a choice,
you found a little sunshine in that very, very scary situation.
And I get accused all the time of being a negative person.
You know what? He took lemons and made lemonade. Yeah, he did.
Literally,
he took the blowjob and turned it into second base.
I said milk lemonade.
My God, we got to end.
God, somebody shoot this horse.
There's another porn you could watch. Barnyard Fun.
I'm not wearing them goggles on. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you remember? Did you ever see that video back in the day, Chris? It was called Aloha, Mr. Hand.
I did not. No, I missed it.
This is a fucking video. Like back when the internet was still pretty young, when it was like, holy shit, we can find anything.
Yeah,
you know. There used to be you can Google it. I bet you can still find it. If you just Google Aloha,
Not
Mr. Hands.
I'm not sure.
It sounds like something from South
So the video is this guy getting fucking rammed by a horse. He is bent over, like you see.
Yeah.
It's old, it's grainy.
Yeah.
Legend has it the guy died.
And the horse was Mr. Ed.
This fucking, like, the guy's bent over and he's grabbing, they're trying to get the horse's dick in him. Like they're people are helping. And they like, it's like when they're breeding a horse, you know, they're trying, they're helping. So like all of a sudden the horse fucking figures it out and just fucking bases it out in this dude, like just and then all you hear is you just hear the guy go, "Did he come?"
Wow.
And then
I thought we were going to end the show with Billy blowing the transgender. We took it even lower. We went even lower.
What do you think was going to happen?
People go, I can't believe you ended the show with him giving head to the transgender. How could it get any worse? Hold on a second. Hold my beer. Here we go.
I'm telling you.
Jeez. This is why you guys can't have your parties together. This is the shit that comes out of this. Is what happens 2 days later.
The guy died.
The guy died. And there you go. And good night.
The horse pulled his intestines
Oh
out.
my God. Oh God, we gotta end.
Chris, are we gonna have to keep doing this show without sponsors?
Oh my God.
We're gonna have to remove.
I think we're all right.
Oh, by the way, that Revelton was very, very good. Let the people know, the sponsors, that was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I gotta get we gotta get you guys down there and and sample some stuff. So
did you see him? Did you see what he just did?
What do you do?
We gotta get he had to snap himself back into.
Yeah,
I'm
getting better and better at this.
He was like, "Yeah, we gotta go." Oh man. I fucking concussed him.
All right.
He's in concussion protocol right now.
You gotta get you in the blue.
I'm out. I'm out for the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna be able to participate. I'm not sure how the Chiefs are gonna cheat their way to the win. So
the fucking Cooper DeJean Bowl, baby.
Oh fuck, Jesus Christ.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Yay for Cooper.
He's gonna be the defensive rookie of the year. Yeah.
That might be the craziest thing you've said all night.
You don't think
he thinks that's crazier than the guy getting nailed by the horse?
He's in the running, dude. He's on the fucking list.
Hold on.
He's definitely been mentioned. His name has been mentioned in the running for defensive rookie of the year.
NFL.
He's like the highest.
Okay, hold on. 2024, 2025 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year odds tracker. Let's see here. Cooper DeJean. Right now, he is at plus 6,000 as of.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Who's ahead of him?
Plus 6,000. Jared Verse minus 921.
Oh wow.
He's different. So how many guys are between there?
And then Quinny Mitchell, Chop Robinson, Braden Fisk.
Not bad.
So he's in the top 6.
He's top 6. Yeah. He's not winning it.
We should. Because he's Cooper DeJean.
He's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's 6 on this list as well.
Yep. I'll take it.
He's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He is. You're right.
That should be fun.
Yep.
This is where we need like the bumper music.
That's right. Figure it out.
All right.
All
Love. Peace. See y'all next week.